This one had fire written all over it before the ball even tipped. The New York Knicks and the Indiana Pacers, two teams that don't just play, they battle. From the very first possession, this game wasn't about basketball. It was about pride, toughness, and who wanted it more. Bodies were on the floor. Eyes were locked. Every single possession felt like it could swing the game, and maybe the series. The pressure builds. Early from the jump, New York came in with a mission. Bridges set the tone not just with his defense, but with his intensity. You could feel it. The way he got into Haliburton's jersey, the way he communicated with his teammates, this wasn't just another game. He was making a statement. And right. Behind him was Robinson, who rose up early to deliver a message with a thunderous alley-oop slam. The crowd erupted, and the Knicks were in full throttle. But Indiana wasn't going to blink. Haliburton stayed poised, feeding the ball inside to Siakam, who continued his hot scoring streak with another tough 30-point effort. His footwork in the post, his vision on the kickouts sharp and surgical. And while Siakam was heating up, Nembhard quietly went to work, sliding past defenders and knocking down timely jumpers. It was clear from the first quarter, this game wasn't going to be pretty. It was going to be a grind. The turnovers started stacking. The Knicks tried to trap Haliburton, but he was too crafty, dishing off under pressure and keeping the ball moving. Meanwhile, Brunson was calm and composed, slicing through the defense and hitting fadeaways that left defenders shaking their heads. By the end of the first quarter, the Knicks had pulled ahead barely, but the tone was set. Physical, unrelenting. Every trip down the floor looked like war. OG Anunoby crashed the paint like a linebacker, and even McBride gave the Pacers trouble with tight, suffocating perimeter pressure. The rebounding battle was brutal. Every board felt like a victory. Towns fought for second chances, tapping missed, shots back out to the perimeter, feeding the fire that kept New York's offense burning. Bridges, once again, found himself in the right place at the right time, cutting backdoor and finishing at the rim with a slam that shook the court. Still, Indiana never folded. Turner drained a deep three, then followed it up with a block on the other end. The building got quiet for a second. Then came the silence breaker, a no-look feed from Haliburton to Nembhard in the corner. Splash. Tie game. This wasn't just playoff basketball. It was a chess match played at full speed. Every mistake mattered. Every hesitation was punished. You could feel it, neither team was going away. And with each bucket, the pressure built. And just, when you thought you had a read on the rhythm, the game would shift again. A turnover here. A chase down block there. Both coaches pacing like madmen. The Knicks bench rose with every big play. The Pacers sideline clapped back louder. 1 quarter down. No breathing room. No momentum held for long. The real question? Who would blink first? The momentum swings begin. The second quarter opened like a powder keg. From the moment the whistle blew, both teams exploded out of the huddle with fire in their eyes. Brunson wasted no time. First possession crossover. Hesitation. Splits the double team. Lays it in off the glass with contact. The Garden roared. But Indiana? They didn't flinch. Not even a little. Tyrese Haliburton answered immediately. Took the screen. Pulled up. From way behind the arc splash. Nothing but net. He looked at the Knicks bench. No words, just eyes. That look said everything. We're not backing down. But then came a shift. A sudden jolt. The Knicks turned up the defense. Bridges again. Everywhere. He swarmed Haliburton, picked his pocket at midcourt, and tossed it ahead for a flying OG Anunoby, who slammed it home with fury. The building shook. The fans were on their feet. Indiana needed a timeout, and fast, and they got it. But what came next wasn't calm. It was chaos. Out of the timeout, Indiana tried to slow it down. Siakam went to work in isolation, but Hart dug in on defense, stripped the ball clean, and started the break. It was a blur. Hart to McBride, back to Bridges, and boom, another dunk. The Knicks were flying. You could feel a run building, energy pulsing. Every touch by New York felt dangerous. And then it happened. A careless inbound pass. Another turnover. Brunson again. Three-pointer. Got it. The Knicks went up by 8, and suddenly the Pacers looked rattled. But Indiana, credit where it's due, refused to go away. Nembhard steadied the ship. He slowed the pace, called for a clear-out, and went to work on McBride. Step back, mid-range. Pure. Then another stop. Then another quick bucket from Turner on a putback. Just like that, the game was back within 3. The Knicks crowd, which was just moments ago deafening, went still for the first time in the quarter. That's when the battle really started. Back and forth. Blow for blow. Both teams trading punches like heavyweights. Brunson weaving through traffic, feeding Robinson for another rim rattler. Haliburton shaking his defender, dishing a behind-the-back dime to Siakam for an easy flush. Nobody letting up. Every trip down the floor was a war zone. And then one of the loudest moments of the game. Off a missed 3 from Indiana, Towns grabbed the board, took 2 dribbles, and launched a full-court pass-a-bullet to OG in stride. He caught it mid-air, landed, pump-faked, rose again, and hammered it down. The roof almost came off. But Indiana had the last word in the half. With time winding down, Haliburton brought it up slowly, motioned for isolation, let the clock bleed. He took Bridges one-on-one, pulled back, stepped into a 3 and hit it at the buzzer. The bench exploded. Tie game heading into halftime. 2 quarters down. Nothing decided. Bodies were bruised. Jerseys were drenched. But the fire, still burning. And in a game like this, one spark can ignite an inferno. Third quarter. No reset. No breath. The moment the team stepped back onto the court, it was as if nothing had cooled. And if the first half was a fight, the second half turned into a war. The Knicks struck first. Brunson, who had been simmering, caught fire. He took the ball right into the chest of Nembhard, finished through contact, and stared down the Pacers bench. On the very next possession, he pulled up from the elbow money. That killer look was in his eyes now. Indiana felt it. The Garden felt it. But Indiana had a weapon of their own, Siakam. Cold? Not even close. He came out hunting. Back-to-back buckets over Robinson. Then a quick spin on Hart, up with the left counted and the foul. That was 8 straight for Siakam to open the third. Just like that, he had 24. No matter what the Knicks threw at him, he had an answer. And then chaos broke loose. Anunoby tried to drive, lost his handle. Ball loose. Fast break the other way. Haliburton leading the charge, threading it to Turner, who rose for the dunk denied at the rim by Robinson. One of the loudest rejections of the game. But then, the whistle. Foul. Crowd stunned. Robinson couldn't believe it. Replay showed. Fingertips on the ball, but the call stood. Turner made one. Missed the second. But Indiana crashed the glass. Nesmith tipped it back. Haliburton snatched it. Swung to Nembhard 3. Got it. A 5-point swing. Pacers lead by 2. That lead didn't last long. Bridges, ice cold for a stretch, got free on the wing. Brunson found him. One motion. Let it fly. Bang. Then another. Then a third. Bridges erupted for 9 quick ones, and the Knicks flipped the game. Back up by 7. The arena thundered again. Still, Indiana refused to fade. Haliburton slowed the tempo, directing like a general. He used the screen, saw the gap, darted inside, and dished it perfectly behind his head to Siakam for the jam. That's when the game turned into a track meet. Back and forth. Brunson, floater good. Haliburton, step back pure. Bridges, corner 3 again. Turner, top of the key, splashes it. The scoreboard couldn't keep up. The crowd never sat down, but then silence. Jarris Walker, the Pacers' energy spark, went down. A hard collision under the basket. He stayed down, held his leg. Medical staff rushed in. The building froze. Everyone watching knew this was serious. His teammates looked shaken. The Knicks players stood still. Walker was helped off. No weight on his leg. It was a brutal sight. And in that moment, both teams looked different. Emotions flared. Focus sharpened. The game suddenly meant more. Knicks took advantage of the moment. With Indiana reeling, Brunson pushed the tempo, found Towns on the break for a thundering jam. Then Hart picked off a lazy pass and fed Anunoby in transition another slam. Just like that, the Knicks were up 6. But Indiana refused to go away. Haliburton again. Step back. 3. Right in. Towns' face. No emotion. Just ice. End of the third. Knicks by 3. The scoreboard close. The tension closer. Every possession ahead would matter. Fatigue was setting in, but the will to win, stronger than ever. Fourth quarter, everything on the line. Nobody smiled. Nobody blinked. The fans knew. The players knew. This was the moment where legends are carved out of grit and pressure. The Knicks led by 3, but the score didn't matter anymore. What mattered was execution. What mattered was heart. Indiana came out swinging first. Haliburton calm, cool, surgical took over the opening stretch. He pulled the defense to the left, then whipped a cross-court laser to Nesmith in the corner. 3, tied up. On the next trip down, Haliburton used a Turner screen, saw Robinson sag, and stepped into a deep 3 splash. Just like that, Indiana had the lead again. The Knicks responded the only way they knew how: toughness. Towns went right at Turner in the post. Bump, bump, turnaround good. Then Hart tipped a missed free throw back out to Brunson, who attacked, got fouled, and sank both. Led back to New York. These weren't plays, they were punches. And with every blow came a counter. Siakam was relentless. Every time the Knicks got a stop, he found a way back in. Off the dribble. With his back to the basket. On the glass. He hit a spinning jumper over Bridges, then drew a foul on Anunoby. Siakam now had 30 plus, and it didn't even look like he was sweating. But Bridges was on a mission. Late in the shot clock, he took the ball with 5 seconds left, jabbed once, twice, then stepped back and buried a long 2. The crowd exploded. He turned to the fans, fist in the air. No words, just fire. Yet every time the Knicks tried to create space, Indiana shut the door. Nembhard cold-blooded drilled a 3 off a handoff. Then Haliburton stole the ball from Brunson, pushed the break, and set up Turner for an and 1. The Pacers bench went wild. They were back up by 4 with under 6 minutes to play. Tensions flared. Every whistle felt like a judgment. Both coaches were pacing. The refs were hearing it from every direction. It was getting loud and tight. Then came the run. Brunson, step back, bang. Knicks down 1. Hart steals it. Fast, break. Kicks to Anunoby. 3, got it. Knicks up 2. Next possession, Bridges again, corner pocket. 3 ball, timeout Pacers, Garden on fire. Indiana regrouped. Out of the timeout, they slowed it down. The ball went to Haliburton as always. He took his time, moved right, then snapped a pass to Siakam, who faced up, drove baseline, and floated 1 in over Towns. Back to a 1-point game. And then the play of the night. Knicks trying to extend the lead. Brunson weaved through traffic, went up for a floater. But here came Siakam flying in from the weak side. Swat, ball flying the other way. Haliburton collected it, went coast to coast, and dropped it off to Nembhard, who finished through contact. Foul. Basket. Free throw good. Pacers lead by 2. 4 minutes left. The game was no longer about sets or systems. It was about will. Towns demanded the ball. Took on Turner. Backed him down. Spun baseline. Went up strong, blocked. Again. Turner was a wall. Next trip. Bridges. Drew a double. Kicked it to McBride. Open look missed. Rebound Indiana. They had a chance to go up 2 possessions. Haliburton walked it up, the crowd roaring against him. He called for the screen. Drove. Kicked. Nesmith another 3. Short. Rebound Brunson. Timeout Knicks. 3 minutes to go. 1 possession game. This wasn't just basketball anymore. It was survival. Every movement on the floor felt like a gamble. Every dribble a risk. The pressure, immense. The margin, thin. The moment, massive. Out of the timeout, Brunson took the reins. He dribbled up slowly, reading the floor, scanning for a weakness. OG Anunoby slid across the baseline. Bridges lifted to the wing, but Brunson kept it. Isolation. One-on-one with Nembhard. He sized him up left, right, back left. Step back jumper. Short. The crowd gasped. Rebound Turner. Indiana had a chance to break it open, and Haliburton knew it. He brought it up, took the screen, got a switch. Now it was Towns on him. The mismatch he wanted. He danced crossover, hesitation, pull-up, back iron. No good. But Siakam was there. Tip in and out. Another gasp. Robinson cleared it. Crowd still holding its breath. 2 minutes. Knicks down 2. The next sequence? Madness. Brunson again. This time he didn't hesitate. He drove hard right, met Turner at the rim, switched to the left hand mid-air, and finished. Tie game. But no time to celebrate. Haliburton pushed the pace. Before the Knicks could set their defense, he dropped a perfect pass to Nembhard sprinting. Baseline. He rose, tried to reverse. Bridges erased it. Clean block. Rebound hot. The building erupted. Back the other way. Fast. Ball to OG. He took one dribble, attacked the rim, and got hammered. Hard foul. He went down, popped up, straight to the line. 2 massive free throws. First one good. Second rattled in. Knicks led by 2. 90 seconds to go. But Indiana still had ice in their veins. They slowed it down, fed Siakam on the E. Block. He backed down hard, pivoted fadeaway money. Tie game. No panic, just precision. The Knicks came right back, and this time, the Pacers trapped Brunson. He escaped it with a cross-court bullet to Bridges wide open. Bang. 3 ball. Knicks by 3. Crowd losing its mind. But Indiana still had life. 47 seconds. They went to their star. Haliburton. Calm. Collected. He drove left, drew the defense, and kicked it to Nesmith. He hesitated just a split second, then launched. Off the back rim. Robinson with the board. Knicks had the ball. Shot clock off. Pacers had to foul. Brunson went to the line. First one pure, second short. 4-point game. Indiana pushed it up. Quick 3, no good. Long rebound. Anunoby got it. That was the dagger. That was the moment. The crowd rose. The bench emptied. New York had done it. The final buzzer echoed like thunder inside Madison Square Garden. The Knicks had held on just barely. 104-100. No blowout. No easy ending. This wasn't a win. It was a survival. And it felt like both teams had left a piece of themselves on the hardwood. Brunson stood at center court, head tilted back, fists clenched. 31 points. 11 in the fourth. He'd been hounded, trapped, blitzed, but never broken. He didn't smile, didn't shout, just exhaled. It was done. Bridges walked off slowly, arms over his knees, drained. He'd poured in 25, including the dagger 3. His defense on Haliburton in the final 2 minutes. Crucial. Robinson. A monster on the glass 15 boards, 6 offensive, and 3 blocks that changed the entire tempo. But this victory came with bruises real ones. Jarris Walker's injury hung like a shadow. He never returned. Taken straight to the locker room, his face buried in a towel. His teammates checked on him post-game, but the silence said it all. It didn't look good. Haliburton, meanwhile, sat on the bench after the game, staring straight ahead. He had 19 points and 12 assists, but the loss cut deep. He played his heart out, made the right passes, made the big shots, but his team came up short. Again. And the frustration showed in his eyes. Siakam finished with 34. He was a machine. Carried the Pacers through long stretches when nothing else worked. But even his effort wasn't enough to outpace the Knicks' relentless closing push. Post-game, Coach Thibodeau kept it short. Tough. Win? Proud of our guys. Still work to do. That was it. because he knows the job isn't done. For Indiana, the heartbreak is real. 3 games dropped by single digits, missed rebounds, small mistakes. And now, possibly without Walker, the road ahead just got steeper. But they're not done yet. Haliburton said it straight. They won tonight, but we'll be ready. This series isn't over. And you can believe him. Because if this game taught us anything, it's that neither team is backing down. Not now. Not with this much pride on the line. Not with a trip to the next round hanging in the balance. So as the Knicks celebrate tonight, as the fans pour into, the streets chanting, screaming, hugging, they do so with one eye forward. Because the Pacers will be back.